Someone lied to you about money, probably someone you trusted, and that single lie, repeated every day since you were a child, has already cost you more than you'll ever be able to calculate. The worst part? You've been following it faithfully and calling it good advice. The lies aren't complicated. They don't come from scammers or strangers. They come from parents who learned about money in a completely different economy, from teachers who never built wealth themselves, from TV experts who get paid to keep you anxious and confused, not informed and free. These lies get repeated so many times, they start to sound like truth. They get passed down like heirlooms, except instead of building wealth, they quietly destroy it. There are 7 of them, and right now, at least 3 are running your financial life without your permission. Here's the first one, and it's probably the most expensive sentence in the English language. If you don't buy a house, you're throwing money away on rent. You've heard this at Thanksgiving from your uncle who bought a house in 1987 for $80,000, and it sounds logical until you look at an amortization table. For the first 20 years of a standard 30-year mortgage, the majority of your monthly payment goes straight to the bank as interest, not equity, not ownership, the bank. And in 2026, homeowners with a mortgage pay 37% more per month than renters on average. In 22 of the top 100 metro areas, owning costs at least 50% more than renting once you factor in taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Renting isn't throwing money away. Most homeowners are throwing money away on interest and calling it an investment. But that's not even the lie that will cost you the most. That one comes later. The second lie is the one that traps hardworking people the longest. You need to track every penny. You've tried it. You downloaded the app. You categorized transactions for 2 weeks. You logged coffee, groceries, takeout. Then life happened. You fell behind. You felt like a failure because you couldn't even follow a basic budget. But here's what nobody tells you. The budget wasn't the solution. It was the wrong problem entirely. The people who actually build wealth are not updating spreadsheets every night. They set up a system once, automate it, and move on with their lives. 4 numbers. That's the whole system. Fixed costs, 50 to 60% of take-home pay. Investments, at least 10%, transferred automatically before you see it. Savings, another 5 to 10%, also automated. Everything left is yours, guilt-free, no tracking required. The trap isn't that you spend too much on small things. The trap is that you spend your entire mental life interrogating $4.50 coffees while your housing costs consume 45% of your income and your car payment quietly destroys you every month. Stop asking $3 questions. Start asking $30,000 questions. Are your fixed costs under 60%? Are you investing at least 10%? Do you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved? Those 3 numbers contain your entire financial future. The price of your latte contains nothing. Which brings us to the third lie, the laziest, most condescending advice in personal finance history. Stop buying coffee and you'll be rich. If you cut out $200 a month in coffee and eating out completely forever and invested every single dollar for 30 years, you'd save roughly $72,000. You know what else saves $72,000 or far more? Negotiating one salary increase, buying a car that's $10,000 cheaper, refinancing a mortgage at the right time, dropping a financial advisor who charges 1%. Each of those is a single decision, made once, and the math doesn't compare. The coffee advice exists because it's easy to say on television. It makes younger people feel guilty about tiny pleasures while completely ignoring the structural costs that are actually hollowing them out. It is not financial advice. It is shame wearing a calculator. If you love your morning coffee, get the coffee. Optimize the things that actually move the number. But here's the lie that will anger you most, because this one is almost certainly working against you right now, silently, automatically, every single month. A 1% financial advisor fee sounds like nothing until you run the math. Start investing at 30, put in $25,000 upfront, $500 a month at 7% for 30 years with a 1% advisor fee. You end up with $653,000. Same money, same return, same 30 years, in a low-cost index fund charging 0.1%, you end up with $795,000. That advisor just cost you $142,000 for managing something you could learn to do yourself in a few hours. And the investment lie runs even deeper, because most people who try to beat the market aren't just paying fees, they're destroying returns by moving in and out at the wrong moments. A study found that missing just the 10 best trading days over a 15-year period dropped returns from double digits to basically matching inflation. Miss the 30 best days, your returns go negative. You cannot predict which days those will be. Nobody can. The people who keep trying lose hundreds of thousands of dollars learning that lesson the expensive way. Time in the market. Every time. No exceptions. But there's one more lie. And this one doesn't show up in your bank account. It shows up in your life. You were taught that passion leads to money. Find your calling, follow your heart, do what you love, and the money will follow. It's the most seductive lie on this list because it feels like permission. Here's what actually happens. People quit stable jobs to chase passion projects that never generate income. They sit waiting for inspiration, their bank accounts drain, and when it doesn't work, they blame themselves. I just haven't found my true passion yet. But the relationship between passion and money usually runs the other direction. You don't start out passionate and then make money. You get good at something, start making money, and then become passionate because competence feels good and success is enjoyable. The question isn't what sets your soul on fire. The question is, what am I good at, what could I get better at, and what would someone pay me for? That intersection builds income, and income builds options. And options, real ones, not the theoretical kind, are what actually create the space for passion to live. The money doesn't follow the passion. The freedom that makes passion possible follows the money. That is the reframe that changes everything. You were told to find meaning first and let the money come. The people who actually get both do it in the opposite order. 3 rules. Apply them this week. Rule 1. Stop tracking small expenses and fix one big one. Look at your fixed costs right now. If they're above 60% of your take-home pay, that is the only budget problem that exists. Not the coffee, not the restaurants, the big number. Fix that first. Rule 2. Automate your investments before you see the money. Not when you get around to it, not after expenses are paid. First. Set a percentage, not a dollar amount, so it scales automatically with every raise. The moment savings becomes the first transaction, it stops being optional. Rule 3. Calculate what a 1% fee is actually costing you over 30 years. If you're paying a percentage-based advisor, run the math against a low-cost index fund. That number, your real number specific to your situation, will make the decision obvious. The lies were never designed to keep you poor. They were just designed for someone else's economy, someone else's era, and someone else's benefit. Now you know the difference.